There's never a quiet moment at Ibrox these days, and this summer is proving no different. With Russell Martin settling into the hot seat and Rangers preparing for another crucial rebuild, the club's off-field activity continues to make headlines. In the midst of squad evaluations, contract talks, and transfer maneuvers, fresh developments have now emerged behind the scenes, and they're significant enough to send ripples through the fan base. It's the kind of move that might not grab the immediate spotlight, but one that could have lasting implications. As Rangers continue to reshape their identity ahead of the new campaign, yet another deal has now been agreed, and it marks another major step in the club's evolving summer strategy. So what has happened, and who is involved? Let's break it down along with all the other Rangers news from the last 24 hours. But first, Police Scotland have returned the Union Bears Rebel Scum banner to the Ultras group. The Rangers fan organisation displayed the banner, which pictured Graham Souness with a shotgun at a match versus Celtic at Ibrox in May. The words "Take aim at the rebel scum" were written below the image of Souness. It was soon seized by the authorities, but has now been returned to the Ultras group after no criminality was found. A Police Scotland spokesperson said, "Following inquiries into the banner, no criminality was established. At the time Rangers hit out at the banner. We also acknowledge that the tifo displayed prior to kickoff crossed the line and was unacceptable," a club statement read. "Our approach to supporter displays has always been built on trust, with the responsibility placed on groups to exercise good judgment. We will reflect on how these displays are managed and engage with supporter groups to ensure the right balance of trust, responsibility, and oversight is maintained moving forward. Rangers is proud of its passionate fan base, and we all share a duty to protect the standards and reputation of our club." Now, in a huge deal agreed, Rangers have confirmed the departure of key backroom figure Issam Harai. The Belgian joined the Ibrox club at the beginning of this year, not long before the sacking of his fellow countryman, Philippe Clement. Now, after a mutual agreement was reached, Harai has left Rangers after less than 6 months. A statement read, "Rangers can today confirm the departure of Issam Harai from the men's first team coaching staff. Harai, who joined the club in January to assist Philippe Clement, remained on the coaching staff through Barry Ferguson's spell in charge. However, following the appointment of Russell Martin as head coach, it has been mutually agreed for Harai to move on with the best wishes of everyone at Rangers." CEO Patrick Stewart gave his reaction. "I want to place on record the sincere thanks of both the club and I to Issam for his work over the past 6 months, he told the media. Through the managerial transition in February and beyond, he handled himself superbly and was a real asset to Barry and his staff during their period in charge of the team. As the men's first team moves forth into this new era under Russell, it has been agreed between the club and Issam for him to move on. For whatever comes next for him, I want to wish him the very best of luck. He will always be welcome back at Ibrox." In other news, Cyril Dessers has shaken hands on a £30,000 a week deal with AEK Athens. It was revealed last week the Greek Giants have made the Rangers striker their #1 target for this summer after watching him blast 51 goals in 2 years in Scotland. AEK were taken over by shipping magnate Marios Iliopoulos last year, and the new owner is ready to push the boat out to land the 30-year-old signature. Now, sources in the Greek capital have revealed that Dessers is keen on the move too. He's verbally agreed a bumper deal that will see him earn around €1.8 million a year with the former Super League champions. All that's to be finalised now is a fee with Rangers. We revealed earlier this week that the Light Blues' new American owners were preparing to dig their heels in over the transfer package. Dessers cost the club £4.5 million when he arrived from Italian outfit Cremonese in 2023, and new sporting director Kevin Thelwell believes his record of scoring a goal every other game in Glasgow justifies a return on that investment. The Nigeria international has been the subject of regular interest in recent windows, with his agent Stein Franix revealing that he had as many as 10 clubs sniffing about his signature back in January. None could come up with the cash Rangers were looking for, and he stayed on to finish the campaign in Glasgow, only one shy of the 30 mark. Now, AEK hope to finally agree a price north of £5 million. Most of those sums will be added to the £20 million transfer Kitty set to be given to new boss Russell Martin as he prepares to get started with his Ibrox overhaul. In other news, former Rangers manager Giovanni van Bronckhorst is reportedly close to becoming part of Arne Slot's coaching staff at Premier League champions Liverpool. The Dutchman spent just under a year in charge at Ibrox, leading the club he turned out for as a player to the 2022 Europa League final. Liverpool are now close to appointing Van Bronckhorst to their backroom staff, claims The Athletic. He will replace his fellow countryman John Heitinga, who recently left Anfield to take on the role of head coach at Eredivisie outfit Ajax. Van Bronckhorst spent a brief spell in charge of Besiktas after leaving Rangers before taking up a role on UEFA's executive committee. He now appears set to move to Liverpool as the club looks to build on a title-winning campaign. Speaking in April of this year, Van Bronckhorst was asked whether he'd like to become the permanent manager of Rangers once again. No, he said live on TNT Sports. For me, that book is closed. Maybe as a fan, but no. In other news, Stephen Davis admits it remains his dream to become the manager of Rangers one day. The 40-year-old, now part of Michael O'Neill's Northern Ireland backroom staff, had 2 games in interim charge of the club following Michael Beale's sacking in 2023. He subsequently left the club after the appointment of Philippe Clement. Davis never got his proper send-off as a Rangers player, having suffered a career-ending ACL injury in December 2022, which he failed to recover from. While he's over that now, the former midfielder insists he still harbours hopes of being able to return to the club in a coaching capacity one day. However, the dream would be to become the main man at Ibrox. His conversation with the media comes after suggestions last month that he could form part of Steven Gerrard's backroom team should he return to Ibrox as boss. Of course, that has now played out, with Russell Martin the new head coach of the club. There was never any contact, to be honest, Davis said when asked about the rumours. Obviously, I was getting a lot of messages, and everybody thought it was a foregone conclusion. But that's the rumour mill, isn't it? For me, obviously the club means so much to me. I've got great memories from my time there. It's hard to envisage that I'll not be back at some point in the future, but you just never know in football. I'd like to assume that will be the case, but at this minute in time, that's not an option, so we'll see what the future holds. Is that still the dream? 100%. I think it's the same as when I was a kid. Obviously, I grew up a Rangers fan and got to play for the club. The ambition was to make just one appearance. Obviously, my career involved much more than I could have envisaged. But at this minute in time, I'm at the starting part of my journey as a coach. I've been involved with Michael and the Northern Ireland team, which has been really good for me. I'm doing my badges as well, so that's just part of the process, but we'll see what the future holds. Ultimately, one day it would be great to step back into Ibrox as manager. But that is all for today's video. Thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy. If you did, please drop a like on the video and subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers content. We post all the latest Rangers news every single day, so make sure you join our fast growing community so you never miss out. Thank you. I'll see you in the next video.